from very cold Huddersfield this morning. Today we've come to have a look around a project that I've recently bought that we're going to use for one of our supported living clients. And this house is going to be a 6-bed HMO for people with substance abuse and addiction issues. And the clients that I work with have the most amazing program, incredible success. So let's go and have a look inside and I can show you the work that we're going to do. So now that we've got inside, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Carole Neales and I run a company called Clearwater Property Partners, and we are a turnkey investment company, and 70% of the business that we do is in the social housing and supported living sector. For me, it's a much better way of investing, supporting the community, working with people, giving back and making money as well. So I'm going to show you around this house, show you what we've done to it. I'm really lucky because I've managed to cajole my wonderful builder to walk around, and he can then talk to you about why we do certain things that we've done and what sort of work we do in order to provide a really good product at the end. So this is Phil, my wonderful builder who I completely love. So Phil and I have been working together now for almost 6 years, because it's always good to have someone you can rely on and trust. When we got this property, this was an enormous room, I don't know, 30 feet long, and Phil's going to take you through why we've separated it all and how this works so much better in terms of safety and client use.
So this area has been separated mainly for the pure means of escape. It's got a protected route straight to your front door. It's now providing a separate kitchen area with a separate living area with a bedroom coming off it. So now you've got a perfect protected route all the way to the main front door.
We put in all the fire alarms, the sounders, everything else, don't we?
Yeah, full fire alarm system free. You've got your heat detection in your kitchen areas, fire door on as a 30-minute rating as a minimum, fire alarms, your emergency lighting straight through.
You've got the protected fire area there. Then you're going to come into here now and we'll have their sitting room, which will be totally private. And you can see that that's been all boarded off. So it's nice, quiet, safe, and a really lovely place for them to be. Ordinarily, we take everything back to brick, but because this is such a big space and we have to make the rent work with the cost of the purchase of the property against the mortgage that we'll ultimately get, we just have to find ways to make it work. So what we're going to do in the kitchen is we're going to wrap all the units, we're going to put new worktops in, and we're going to put paneling over the tiles, and it will look fabulous when we've finished. And as long as we provide a really safe, comfortable, nice looking property for the clients, then that's what we want, because the sooner we can house them, the sooner they can come away from temporary accommodation, they can get the support they want, and then they can start to have a future. So this will be a bedroom here. Every room is only for one person. We do not accommodate 2 in any rooms whatsoever. So it's a 6-bedroomed house for 6 people. So now we've come upstairs onto the first floor and we're going to go into bedroom number 2. So this room is a really decent size, as you can see. And this again will all be emergency lighting, fire alarms. All the sockets will all be the standard double sockets. So everything will conform to regulation. So then you've got a bathroom here, and what we're going to do in this bathroom, we will aqua panel everywhere, and we will put new shower in and the door for the bath. We're actually going to leave the sink and the toilet in because there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. Normally we wouldn't do that, but because the cost of materials has gone up so much and because we've got extra things that we have to do to meet building control regulations, we just took that decision because we'll save almost £400 keeping those 2 in, and we can use that on the new windows that we've got to put in. This room here, they can use as a relaxation room. They can come in, they can read, they can watch TV. We did look at taking these walls out, but we would then have to have got steels, and you're talking thousands of pounds to put steels in. So we're going to leave this in. Phil's taken down all the shelving that was on this side, and they'll make all that good, decorate it, carpet it, it'll be fabulous. So this is the window we have to change, and the reason being is it has no opening. We'll take this window out and we'll just put a top opening so that they can get some fresh air. And then you've got bedroom 3 here. Again, it's a decent size, you know, it's not pokey. This had cupboards everywhere, so Phil's taken all the cupboards out. It's made a lot more space. Obviously they'll have wardrobes, beds, bedside tables, all that sort of thing, but it won't take up anywhere near as much space as it did before. You've rewired, haven't you, everywhere?
Rewired, all first fix ready to go for the second fix. We're going to do it a bit backwards by doing the second fix next. We're going to plaster the walls house, second fix next, so we can keep the power and lighting on as it's getting darker nights. We can bring temporary lights on, but they always get messy, and because the project's only down for a 10-week project, we're going to do things a little bit different this time. As you can see, we like boarded the ceiling to stop the latten plaster above was blown, so by the time we've ripped that down and created a load of mess, it was easier putting a new suspended ceiling in underneath in this part of the house.
And this radiator will get changed for a double radiator, because obviously it's important to make sure that we maximise the heat flow for everybody.
A lot of people do put them underneath the window. The only thing with these, the height of the windows, you have to have a very narrow radiator, so it'd take a lot of the space up against the wall, because you've only got 300mm space underneath the windowsills at the moment.
So you'd only be able to get a very narrow radiator under there.
Bigger radiator in a better position.
Stop! We're going to do rooms 4, 5 and 6 next, but just before we do, click below. You'll be able to access our 42 tip guide to investing in property. We want you to succeed in your property journey, and this will definitely help you. So this house is really quite big, as you could see from outside, because it has an underdwelling. So in the past, it would have operated as 2 completely separate buildings. So this is going into the second part of the building, isn't it?
Yeah, so again, this were an open space before as you come through. As you can see, we've put a now new stud partition wall in to create another room off the back, which again gives you a protected route all the way through back from your front door down to an escape door downstairs.
So we've got break glass here on the corridor.
Yeah, you'll have your break glasses on your corridor for this person coming out of the room. Anyone coming up, they can hit the break glass. It is all interlinked system, so the smoke alarm should in theory kick everything off, but there's always break glass to fall back onto.
So this is bedroom number 4? Yeah. And again, decent size. It's lovely and light. That's what I really like about this house. It's really nice and light. I mean, there's lots of things that you might think, oh my goodness me, why would you buy this property? You saw that it was on a busy main road, there's 5 junctions, but it's pretty much on its own. It's only got 2 houses next to it, 2 walkways down to this countryside out here to go for walks if they want to. So it's a perfect position because you don't have loads of neighbours. You're not going to have any hassle. People are not going to be parking outside all the time. It's a really, really good location for what we want. So we come down into what you would perceive to be the basement. Phil's going to put a new board over there, aren't you?
Yeah, so it's obviously an all new board, all to regulations. What we're going to do is put a stud wall up to create another corridor from the underdwelling, or what was the underdwelling, back into the kitchen area. This will also be a firewall with a fire door in to access what will be the utility room. This whole section won't be visible for the tenants, it'll just be for maintenance. This was bricked up at one point, so it was 2 separate parts, knocked it back through to create the extra 2 rooms on this side.
Phil has taken out the boiler that was in here. That gas meter will go, and then what will happen is he'll take away this whole cupboard, he'll knock out this wall.
We'll take away this so it gives you a clear area coming up off the stairs. As you can see at the moment, it's very tight.
So regulation is that we have to have a meter from the stair. We don't have that right now. So when he's taken this away, then we'll have the required space there. You've got another bathroom here. So in this room here, we're going to board off the door that goes out to a recess outside, but we're going to do that for safety so that we know that nobody can ever get in and it keeps it insulated. The bathroom is going to stay. We're obviously going to remove the handrails, AQUABOARD it all, new flooring, paint it all. So that would be really, really nice when it's done. If you've got tiles and you've got grout and you've got silicone, it's a lot to keep clean and to manage. If you've got the AQUABOARDing, it's much harder wearing and it's much less maintenance. And so it means that the room looks better for longer, and it saves money for the provider who's taken the house on, and they don't then have to keep on top of all of that. So we're now into bedroom number 5. This is a smaller bedroom for sure, but it's still a really good size. Again, radiator will get changed in here because it's only a single radiator, but as you can see, that radiator is actually under the window because it's a much higher space. And then again, you've got this small room here. What we're going to do is make this into a little relaxation room again, so they could maybe have a TV in here and they could just have a bit of quiet space if they wanted to. So then we go down the stairs and we go to what was the entrance to the underdwelling. This will only be used as a fire escape route. It will not be used as an entry. For now, we've got security doors and security panels on the window, and the reason for that is we've got Christmas coming up. The house will be empty and we don't want to encourage anybody to want to come in here when we're not here. Because when you come in here, somehow or another, some young people got into this part of the building and made some signage on the walls.
It were all damp, all the walls were damp, the reading eye levels were damp when we first come here. We've taken the plaster off, got to remove the radiator to take the rest of the plaster off. We're going to then tank the full room, and what we're going to do, we're going to build a stud work in front of it because it is quite cold, this room. We'll insulate in between the stud and reboard it right the way around to give a nice fresh wall finish.
So this will be bedroom number 6, quite a big storage cupboard through there that they'll be able to use. And we always make sure that there are plenty of sockets so they don't have any problems like that.
The sockets are all be 450 to the bottom, which is now the minimum requirement for the new regulations on the rewire. If we were just adding things on, it doesn't state that you have to do that because it's a rewire. We're moving them all up to 450.
So it's going to be good. I mean, it's a very big space for 6 bedrooms and it's quite a complicated layout. In an ideal world, as I say, we'd have knocked the entire thing back, but we probably would have been talking conversion cost of 150 if we'd have done that. Can we go upstairs, because there's a really big draft coming through that door at the moment and we can talk more about that. Right, so now that we're back in the kitchen and my bottom is getting warm. The numbers on this. We bought this for 163,500 and the renovation cost is going to be around 65,000. We borrowed the money from an investor and we'll pay them back at the interest rate that we've agreed. So our costs are going to be around 240, hoping for a revaluation in the region of 350. Maybe 320. That being the case, we'll probably have to leave about 30,000 in. Hopefully though, we'll get the higher valuation and we won't have to leave anything in at all, because having combined the 2 houses, it's going to be a completely different proposition. Plus we've got a 5-year lease, which is great because obviously no voids, no maintenance, nothing to pay at all really. We will still be responsible for the structure of the building. So that's the roof, plumbing, electrics, but anything internal they will deal with completely. So that's a massive saving for us. And the rent that we will be achieving is £2,400 a month. We've no bills to pay and it's literally set and forget. And when I say set and forget, we don't operate like that really. What I will do is every now and then I will just pop in, say hello to the clients, just make sure the house is being looked after properly, make sure everything's working as it needs to be. I think it's really important that you make sure that you keep a handle on your portfolio and you make sure it's being used for the purposes for which it was intended and that everything's running to order. But this is a really great project. I'm excited because it's the first one for this particular client in this area, and once we've developed this project and it starts to work and it proves to be successful, then we'll be able to move forward and acquire more property and develop in this area for that client. So thank you so much for taking this tour with me and going around our project. If you want to reach out, I'm Carole Neales. My company is Clearwater Property Partners and we'll be really happy to help you in any way. If you want to hang around, there's going to be another video coming up. Please stay tuned and watch the next project that we're about to complete.